So welcome again to this episode of Pastorn and Polarna. You might hear that we speak English today. We do that from time to time, and that's because we today have Adam, a normal member of our group, and his wife Talitha. That's why we're speaking English. Um, yes, we will hear some stories and experiences from the mission field by Adam and Talitha today. We are very interested to, hear how it is doing yeah, a, sh- a little bit longer mission trip than just a few weeks. Uh, so start by a little bit of background. If you can share a little bit of background, how did you decide to go on a mission trip like you did? Yes, go ahead.
Went to a mission school, and at this mission school, the couple who started, um, they visited and told us about the place. And then I was not so much interested in it, but Talita was getting an interest in going there.
So like a long time ago, was this in 20, how many years ago?
2023, right? It was end of our mission school year.
Yeah. So then you first got to know about the place, which is somewhere in Asia, and that's all the detail we can give at the moment. Yes, but what happened next? Like before you went to this, was it in January this year?
February, beginning February, we went there.
So from 2023 until February 2025.
Sometime in between. In the end of the year later, we started courting, and um, I think we were engaged when we started talking about going there. Or you were thinking to go there.
Yeah, like I was thinking to go there, and then we were first thinking, oh man, this will be a super long distance relationship. But then we got engaged not long ago, like not long later. And
Mhm.
then decided in the end to go together there.
So you got engaged and you would you say this was kind of like a honeymoon trip, or was it more other focus?
It wasn't, I didn't see it as like a honeymoon trip.
No, me neither. Like we had also our honeymoon before,
Yeah.
so it was not planned as a honeymoon. And I would also never say, especially afterwards, I would never say that it would be a honeymoon. Especially the surroundings in Asia are not really, maybe not so meant as honeymoon.
Was it anything else you had to do in preparation to go there? Like any practical stuff, or how was that preparation before you actually went?
Yeah, actually, we didn't prepare so much, but I think both of us regret it afterwards. Like we would say now that it would have been much better to prepare much more. Um, yeah, it would be much better to have a training before you go into a mission
Mm,
field, especially as a newlywed couple.
mm,
But the only thing we did were like was get a little bit to know the culture, since this is important, because if you
yeah.
don't know at all, then you can say something or do something that totally misunderstand you, because like the culture is so different. So this we did, but next to this we didn't do so much. What was not so good.
I mean, you learn until
Can,
next time.
can I ask? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, so you went to a mission school before that. So, uh, like, what kind of preparation did that give you? And also, like, was there something in that mission school that led you to the decision to, do the practical side of it, or was it not like connected? Because it seems like if you go to mission school, you might be inspired to do something like this, but
Mm.
but
Like the training we had was maybe there was 1 week that had the theme like doing mission to foreign cultures, which was very interesting. I think now when I'm thinking about it, I should have gone back to that material.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, we're also like during the time in our mission school, we were like for 2 months approximately. We were in America and we're there also kind of for a mission trip. What was good, um, but maybe you can never really prepare yourself so much for a mission field because you never know what will what will come. There are always surprising situations. There are always things you never knew would happen. So, like, partly you can prepare, and it's good to prepare, but you cannot prepare for everything.
Uh, how did you spiritually, if I can say it like that, did you spiritually prepare? Like you prayed maybe in advance, or how was that? How did you see God leading you to go?
Like, for me personally, I had this already like for a long time in my heart that like kids, um, which were like desperately in need, it felt like God were like really drawing me to these children, which like were so helpless. Um, and I was kind of praying for long. Like my parents were kind of, like they told me that I should better do first education before I would go. But somehow God closed every single door I wanted to go before, and then suddenly like everything led kind of to this, um, orphanage we went to,
Mm.
or boarding school, hashtag like. So. And also our travel there, so many miracles happened that we actually managed then to arrive there, that in the end we were like, okay, God really wants us there because like from a human view, it would have been impossible to like since so many miracles happened.
Noel, do you wonder about something?
Yeah, it's now like the preparation. That's also I understand it's you don't know what's going to happen. So I was in Honduras also, and it's like the best is of course you can try to prepare, but the open mind is of course nice. I think, but the I want to hear about like what kind of you said a lot of stuff happened on the travel there. That's like we can maybe start there. Like if you can share some happenings.
In that morning, we woke up very early to finish up with cleaning the apartment, and in the end, when we were finished with cleaning, we had some things that we needed to bring to the storage. I don't remember how much time we still had until we would need to go to the bus or be at the bus. Maybe 25 minutes.
Maximum.
Yeah. Around half an hour to get the things to the storage and walk with the suitcases and everything to the bus stop. And the storage was quite full, so we were thinking we probably need to take things out and put them in, and that in itself could have taken half an hour. So we went there with the things, and it went so smooth. It was just putting the things in. They fit perfectly, like Tetris blocks. And then we had 15-20 minutes to go to the bus. According to Google Maps, I think it should take 11-12 minutes, and then you have suitcases. So it was a bit tight. And a few hundred meters from the door, one of the suitcases breaks. Like the wheels jumped off. Like you couldn't roll the thing anymore. And then it's like, oh, this is not going to happen.
Yeah. But you managed.
Mm-hmm.
Talitha got an idea to put the big suitcase on the small suitcase and roll them together to to the bus. Uh, and it kind of worked in the end. Talita chose to run ahead with as much luggage as possible, and I would go behind. And I it didn't work for me. It was kind of too low, or I don't know. It was frustrating. I didn't get anywhere, and in the end, I got a bit angry at God. So I kind of shouted, like, God, I cannot do this anymore. You need to help me.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I'm thankful that God is so merciful that even those prayers He listens.
Yes.
Because right after I just changed grip and it worked fine.
Yeah.
And Talita came and helped, and we carried it together. And we were at the bus stop minutes before the bus came.
It was like,
Good.
didn't make sense.
Okay, fast forward a little bit. You arrive, I guess, there in your destination, and as the first day goes, you're there, and what did you end up doing from a day to day? Like, what was your, what did you do when you were there in general?
Like I was a dean, a girls' dean in the girls' dorm. And Adam was mainly a teacher, but we, especially in the end, we helped out each other. Like sometimes I helped with teaching, and sometimes, or very often, he helped with deaning. Yeah.
And was it, were you more people, like as leaders or volunteers, or how big was the, how can you say, the volunteer group and the leadership?
Like in the beginning, when we arrived, there was quite some groups. There was the first week, there was a group of medical missionaries there. I don't know how many, maybe 5 to 10. And then some other, I don't know, like with some from Austria and Germany, which also came to help out. And then another person from the mission school. So then in the beginning, there were quite some people. Also the leader who kind of built this up, or yeah, the daughter who took now over was also there. So in the beginning, everyone was there, and then maybe 2 weeks later, everyone disappeared. And then, yeah, in the end, we were like, for a while, we were like 3 people from Europe. Of course, there were also other people from India, also teaching, and but deaning, it was just us. First
Yeah.
3, and then the other person from the mission school also needed to go, and then we were alone for some months.
Yeah. So you were dealing, what would start there as a dean, what did you do on a normal day?
Being a mom. So it's basically like what you're doing as a mom, like 24/7. You need to be there. Like
Yeah.
when you need to wake, like first of all wake them up, then do together with them the devotion, um then yeah, let them eat breakfast, like kind of gathering all the kids for the right time that
Mm.
that they're doing the things they should do, um and bring them, like also send them by time to school, check that they're prepared for school, and and then also when they come back, um yeah, but it, like next to all these things, like with the time management and looking that everything works, uh also in the kind of in the rooms in the orphanage by itself with the paper stuff and whatever, it's also just being there for the kids, like it was like regularly that they came to the door, like it was very typical. You They were knocking like at the door, like knock knock, miss,
Yeah.
and then like they was something going on. Either they wanted to play, or they had something on their heart, or they were afraid. Like especially in the evening, they came then very often because they were afraid. And then you need just to be there for them. You need to listen to them. You need to speak to them. You need to comfort them or play with them. Yeah, this is kind of.
Yeah. And Adam, you were teaching, like, can you tell us a little bit more what you did as teacher?
So I was assigned to do the PE classes, and each grade had one PE class every week.
Mm.
And then just when a teacher would be absent, I would hop in and take classes. It could be anything from natural science to social science, or English class, or uh, even local language class.
Yeah. That I imagine that's very interesting. You don't know the language and you're
Yeah.
the teacher.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, you are there, like, what's the biggest like surprise you get when you arrive, or like in this first week, for example, like
Like I
Culture
mean,
shock.
yeah, culture shock, or something like, wow, is this how it is, or is like,
mm,
like, what should I do now, or
like I think, like I mean, we looked a few things up. Like of course there is some like signs they do different. For example, when they kind of wave the hands, um, like how can you explain this without seeing? I don't know. Like if you, yeah, if you make like with the hand like this, then this means like not bye bye as we do it like in Europe. This means like come, or like, but
Mm.
this is not really a culture shock. I think the most shock was really to see how the like how the religion there, like in fact like influenced the kids and the people there, like since it's not Christian there, um and especially the villages around the place where we were, there was like black magic going on. And this was like shocking, like then to hear and also to see. I'm very thankful, like there were things happened before we were coming, which were even worse, and I'm so happy that we didn't experience these things. But where kids did things or said things or experienced things which were like super shocking. Um, Once in the night we heard even like someone like running over the roof. Um, and like things like this. This is like I think was the most shocking.
Yeah.
oh, well,
It's hard to imagine for us here in the West in Sweden that these things exists, and it's sometimes normal for even kids to be in a very dark spiritual, if you can say it like that, place. Yeah. Okay. Time goes on. You're there. You go day by day, and yes, I remember you also had like a chat group or a chat where you two updated everyone who was there in that chat group, and you mentioned at some point something about the humidity and the mold and stuff like that, which was really yeah, surprising or interesting to hear. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? It gives us a bit of how it gives us a bit more of an insight to how it can be there in this way, you know?
Yeah, they're not as picky as we are here when it comes to uh, cleanliness and those kind of things. The buildings were very primitive, and so in the rainy season when there was heavy rainfall and horizontal rain, it it got inside the rooms sometimes, and it was in general super humid that on the walls you could see mold growing like and also Talitha and was Vera still there? I don't know. When you were checking on the
Yeah.
girls, their pillows were all destroyed from mold, and
Like almost every pillow was full of mold. It's really crazy.
And they got the kids, they got like health effects of that, right?
Yeah, like it was kind of normal for them that they had like rashes or allergies. Um, sometimes they had even things they didn't know what it was. But it's super difficult to figure out like if it's just the mold, or I think it's also a lot of mentally things because they were so traumatized. Like there were so many kids who had trauma. So it's a lot of mixture. I wouldn't say it was all just from the mold, but of course it had like a big issue. But it's a bit
So now,
mixture mentally
now we
and
get into some interesting, like, how was it like challenging and these kind of things, or was everything nice and happy?
You said it was not like a honeymoon. Now we need
Yeah,
to. Now we want to.
like what's the hard, hardcore stuff?
yeah, there were a lot of things that were challenging at the same time, um, both with yeah, cleanliness as we just now mentioned, and um, that there was not so much personal time, um, just being newly married and
Hmm.
yeah, sometimes not having time to say more than good morning and
Hmm.
good night, and some things there in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it would be definitely from our side, for newlywed couples, if someone listens to this podcast and is newlywed, don't go in your first half year on a mission trip. I think it's even like written in the Old Testament, like the Israelites, um, God said them like if someone is newlywed, they should like for 1 year, should not have a duty, like also in the military or whatever. And I think this is a super nice thing. Like, now we had our experience and it was difficult. We grew a lot, of course, but um, I wouldn't advise this to someone. Like yeah, take time for each other. first get to know each other more, like, and yeah, especially like there are so many like new culture, new, like you get to know each other, and it's like so many things are like can be very difficult. Also, then, but yeah, as you mentioned already earlier, in the end we were for some months alone, which can be like, I mean, 40 kids, more than 40 kids, and two people, and he also needed to teach next to it. And so it's kind of like, yeah, I kind of ended up then in a burnout. So
Mm.
this is kind of then like where it's kind of then scratching, where it's kind of difficult. Yeah. And
Yeah, I
just if
mean,
you're working for God does not mean that you cannot end up in the burnout. Of course, like God gives you strength, but there are also limits God gives. And if you don't listen to this, yeah,
yeah,
can
it's
be hard.
good. It's good to think about that because these mission trips can be super. People can hype it up like, yeah, mission trips. Yeah, it will change your life.
Mhm.
It will, you will do service. It's
And of course, it could be like that, and it could be like,
Mm.
so we don't know. And it's probably like if you go in 1 week with like I don't know, Adra or something. Of course, it's gonna be nice. You can help and give out stuff,
Yeah.
and it's different kind of mission trip. It's like you go there and really help people. That's probably harder and much more effort into it.
Yeah, and also it's really important to mention that like go when you're single, go when you can. Wait until you have been married and to go and stuff like that. So there's a lot of wisdom there as well. We have a few minutes left to wrap it up. How can we wrap it up? Do you two want to share something that we haven't asked about, or do you want to kind of wrap it up last 5 minutes, let's say 5, 7 minutes from your perspective?
Yeah, and for me, not everything like looking back is negative and sad.
No.
Like there are things that yeah, we have learned.
Mm.
Um, for example, how much I am in need of God. Like there were times when I felt like I don't know what to do, how to handle. There are like so many situations at the same time which I'm not able to, like, I don't have the wisdom, or
Mm.
but it's so cool how God still gives strength for one day.
Mm.
We managed this day, and when waking up the next day, you feel like I cannot do this sometimes, but then you come to the end of the day and you survived.
And it's also like there come situations where you think like, oh, I really don't know how to handle this now. I don't know how to kids are doing something and you don't know like what to say or how to act. And then sometimes you cannot do anything because like it's deeper than you can do. And then sometimes also like to kind of not try to handle this now by yourself, but also like then to come to this point, okay, God, I cannot do anything right now. I need to trust you, like to like let it go. And also that kind of um yeah, as Adam said, not like even if it's like difficult, this does not mean that like it shouldn't be now a discouragement for people not to go in the mission field anymore.
No.
Like it is, yeah, it can be very difficult because like this is also Satan is fighting. It is like mission is like this is what Satan does not want. And marriage is what Satan does not want. Like it's kind of like two things Satan is fighting against. And if you are going as a married couple, then of course there are things coming like that Satan is fighting and he tries everything to destroy. And just to be aware of it. But this does not mean that no one should go anymore. Not at all. Like, God can give the strength. And even if the things don't turn out often as we imagine it to be, in the end, when you look back, maybe it takes a bit longer, but if you look back at one point, you think, okay, this was the reason why this and this happened, and we could grow out of it.
Yeah, I think that's
I
good.
think,
Yeah, continue.
sorry. One thing that was a big help for us was we touched a bit on the travel there, like knowing that for us that was like a sign that God wanted us there. If we wouldn't have had that, um, it would have been a very difficult to handle. Also now looking back, there would just be a lot of question marks.
Mm,
So I think it's a good thing to, when going, also know that it is something from God.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have that to fall back on
yes.
in the difficult moments.
Okay, let me try to wrap it up. We encourage everyone to go on a mission trip or to do some kind of mission work somehow, somewhere. It can be in Asia, it can be Africa, but also Sweden, Finland, Scandinavia is in need of mission work as well. It looks very different probably, but still. So we encourage people to go, and you can talk to Adam and Talitha if you want to go to exactly that place. They can refer you to it, or you might know other people. Like I know so many people who, in their youth, when they were young, or so, went to some kind of mission trip, and it somehow changed their life forever. So I think that's it for tonight. Thank you for sharing, and I hope you who listened were inspired. And see you next time for a new episode. Bye bye.